If business is slow right now, you're not alone. Slow seasons are a part of any business, and even the most successful freelancers experience ups and downs. But a slow period doesn't have to mean wasted time or making no money. In this video, I'm sharing 4 things that I recommend doing when client work is quiet, and 1 thing that you should never ever do, no matter how tempting it is. Hey, I'm Danbee. I'm a web design mentor based in Switzerland. I help web designers build profitable and inclusive businesses without overworking. I've seen firsthand how slow periods can really shake a designer's confidence, but I've also seen many designers that I've worked with turn them into opportunities to grow their businesses in the long run. If you're curious about working with me and want to get started with a free training, head over to danbeeshin.com/training. When you don't have any active client projects or leads, it's easy to feel like you're just waiting for something to happen, refreshing your inbox or checking your DMs. Instead of doing that, use the time you have to update your portfolio. Your portfolio doesn't have to be perfect, but if it doesn't reflect the kinds of projects and clients that you want more of, it's not doing its job. And I know that when you're busy with client work, updating your portfolio always falls to the bottom of your to-do list. Here's how to tackle this without creating extra stress for yourself. 1. Choose a past client project that you loved working on. A project where the client trusted you and valued your expertise, one where the project went smoothly and the final website just met all your project goals. 2. Gather the key pieces you need to tell your client's success story. This could include a testimonial from the client, the project brief you created at the beginning of the project results and highlights, and screenshots of the completed website. 3. Create a case study highlighting the project outcomes. Share your project goals, explain your design decisions, and highlight the outcomes that you delivered for your client. Highlight the success that your client experienced as a result of working together. Even just one solid strategic case study like this can be a complete game changer for attracting new clients. And here's where I see a lot of designers go wrong. They wait until they've accumulated 3 or more or some other arbitrary number of case studies before updating their portfolio. Don't hold yourself back like that. There is no such thing as a full list of case studies that you need to be aiming for. Even just one strong case study that tells a clear client success story can make a huge difference, because when potential clients can see themselves in that story, they're much more likely to reach out, knowing that you can help them achieve similar results. And if you're doubting your own ability to deliver similar results, just know that if you have done it once, you can do it again. By the way, if you want my step-by-step process for creating case studies that lead to inquiries and paying clients, check out my course, Case Study Recipe. Besides my complete process, it also includes templates and other resources to help speed up the writing portion of that process, because I know that can be such a stumbling block for many designers. The next smart thing to do is to follow up with past leads. And I know you're probably feeling some level of resistance when it comes to this. It can feel awkward and uncomfortable. It's not fun, and it's definitely not a sexy strategy. You don't want to bother these busy clients, and you definitely don't want to come across as pushy or desperate. I get it. But if you don't follow up, you're leaving potential projects on the table. No from a potential client often just means not right now. People's circumstances change all the time. Budgets open up, priorities shift, and a new website project can suddenly become an urgent project. If you have talked to potential clients who didn't move forward with a project in the last, say, 6 to 12 months, now is the perfect time to follow up. Sometimes your clients just need a little nudge to remind them that you are ready to help them. Think of it this way. An email or a DM from you could be exactly what they need right now. Keep it simple and just send a short, thoughtful message. It could be as casual as, "Hi, client name. I was doing some planning for my business and I thought of you. How are things going with?" And then insert details about a specific project or business that you discussed previously. Seriously, this can be enough to spark a new sales conversation. The worst thing that can happen is that you just don't hear back from them. But in the best case scenario, they might already have been thinking about working with you, and your timing could just be perfect. As long as you had a genuine conversation and had a good connection with this person in the past, cold pitching and following up is a whole nother story, and I don't recommend it. But assuming we're talking about someone you had a real connection with, most people appreciate a thoughtful follow-up message. It shows that you still care about their success and that you're available to help when the timing is right. The third thing I recommend doing when your client calendar is empty is to consider offering a smaller package. When full-scale projects aren't coming in, it's easy to get stuck in that all or nothing mode. So either you have a big client project or you have nothing at all, and that can be a really stressful place to work from. That kind of pressure can lead to burnout or reactive decisions made in the spur of the moment under pressure, like taking on a bad fit client even though you can see all the red flags, just because it feels like something is better than nothing. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can sell a smaller offer like website audits. Love website audits. These are often easier for clients to say yes to, and it gives them a chance to experience what it's like to work with you without the commitment of a full website project. I feel so strongly about this that I created a whole course to help designers create and sell website audits. I'll share a link to my website audit masterclass in the video description. I love website audits because they deliver real results for your clients right away, and they're also a great way to earn some income without much time or effort. They also help you position yourself as an expert in websites, which you are, and often also lead to larger projects. A little tip here, after you've delivered the audit results, you can also offer to credit the amount that your client paid for the audit toward a bigger website project, and that gives your client a little extra incentive to move forward. If this video has been helpful so far, give it a thumbs up so that more web designers can find it, and if you want more practical tips like this, hit subscribe because I have so much more coming your way. My next recommendation might have the biggest impact on your overall business, and that is to streamline your client processes. When you're in the thick of client work, you don't have the time or the mental energy to zoom out and look at how effective your client processes actually are. So a slow period between active client projects, that's the perfect opportunity to reevaluate your processes. Most people don't do this. The reason this is important to do is because when your processes are messy, unclear, inconsistent, it can be hard to land clients who have budgets set aside and are ready to work with a professional web designer. Those clients are looking for someone who can take the lead and guide them through a smooth process, and that is only possible if you have a solid process to begin with. Those clients also want to understand the value of your work and the kinds of business results they can expect. And that is really hard to communicate when you don't have a standard process that all of your clients get to experience when they work with you. So I recommend mapping out your entire process from the very beginning when you pre-qualify a client and prepare for the sales call, all the way through website design, a presentation, feedback, revisions, launch, and the offboarding as well. List everything that you do. And if some details change from project to project, make a note of that too. You can type it out or just write everything out by hand, whatever feels easier in the moment. I personally find that with kind of brain dumping activities like this, it's easier to write things out by hand, but do what makes sense for you. Just a simple act of making this list will help you identify areas that you want to improve and give you fresh ideas for how to do that. Once you have your complete list, there's also a question that I would love for you to ask yourself, and that is, which unnecessary steps can I remove to make this process better? We as humans have a bias towards adding more to improve something, but so often the better solution can actually be to subtract, to take away things. And there's this really interesting episode of the podcast Hidden Brain on this topic that I will link to in the video description. Streamlining your client processes leads to easier sales, repeat clients, and high quality referrals. All of this also helps minimize slower periods in the future. This is the kind of behind-the-scenes work that leads to long-term business growth. This is central to what I teach in my course, The Fast Track System, where I show web designers how to earn more and grow their businesses by selling and delivering high-ticket websites. Whatever you do during these quieter months, please, please, please do not reduce your prices. I get it. When you're getting fewer inquiries, it can be easy to feel like your prices are the problem. You might be wondering if you would get more inquiries if your prices were just a little lower. But cutting your prices can backfire and create more problems than it solves. First, it sends the message that your services may not be worth the original prices. And that perception, and of course this is just perception, can be hard to change later. Also, you risk attracting price-sensitive clients who are super focused on the cost and might not fully appreciate your expertise or the value you bring to the project. This can lead to really stressful and unprofitable projects with issues like scope creep and micromanagement, and can cost just so much work than it's worth. If you need a quick cash injection, which is totally understandable, of course, look for other ways to bring in income. For example, offering smaller packages like we talked about earlier. This way, you can maintain your pricing integrity while giving your clients more affordable ways to work with you. I obviously cannot stop you from lowering your rates, but the reality is that probably won't bring you more clients. You'll likely book the same number of projects you would have booked anyway, but for less money. There are so many different reasons why clients reach out to you or don't. Pricing is just one of those possible reasons, so don't jeopardize your income by trying to guess what is happening in your clients' minds. I know that navigating slow seasons in your business can bring up a lot of feelings and insecurities. If you're struggling with imposter syndrome in particular, this next video is for you. I'm sharing all my best advice on how to overcome imposter syndrome as a web designer. I'll see you over there, okay? You got this.